How y'all doing, everyone?
All right.
Take this down a notch. My name is Alex Alexander. Thank you, Femi and Ellen, for that awesome intro. It's hard being the first one up, I swear for God. But I'm about to give you a little poetry to start your night off real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you mind?
I don't mind.
Sweet, thank you, I love it, I love it. This piece is called Perfect Vision. I take permanent pictures of temporary people. Mere souvenirs from all the lives that I have visited. See, I've given them 4 corners to exist in, when in actuality they deserve far less than this, but I digress in this sentiment. See, these images have meant more to me than the nanoseconds spent on capturing that moment perfectly. And it will never happen again. No, not without me. See, the light will never fall upon your skin the same as it did on the day that you got vulnerable for me. The day you released yourself from vanity and happened to let your spirit breathe. It was called photography, which is Greek for light drawing. See, your light drew me into you and we made some art that day. I got carried away in the instantaneous greatness of the whole ordeal. Sitting back knowing that I had a portion of your spirit caught on a roll of film. See, I'm sitting on a gold mine of times past, and I'm just trying to make them last a little longer, surpassing the sensationalism of the digital age. See, I sit back as it shakes you of your good taste, not knowing that some of the best photographs are the ones you cannot take, the ones too priceless to place upon that book of many faces. See, this ain't no hobby for me, because I happen to eat, sleep, and breathe my shutter speed. So get back to me when you've developed a photograph on the surface of a bed sheet, because that's where you and she used to sleep, baby. It's deep. See, I speak in terms of composition and capture, light, contrast, and aperture, all caught up in the rapture of life, aimed at camera, click. Did you get it? And to think I almost missed it if my mother had to listen to them doctors saying I wouldn't be shit because her retina's a little tilted and albinism stole her vision, but Miss Dixon thought different. It's like she knew I might be gifted, so it's best that I don't disappoint my mother and have her faith in me turned asunder. I couldn't live with that. So with my lens uncapped, I capture some of the most beautifully composed proof that life has happened right before these very eyes. See, I'm not surprised that God happened to give the best insight to the visually impaired, because I happen to see more in a second than y'all would likely see in a year, and that's with my eyes closed. See, I get a good sense of the environment with my nose, and I can identify the color by the sound that it shows, because I'm not my disposition. See, I couldn't miss perfect vision if we weren't kicking it in the first place. And it's true that when one sense falls short, the others make hay, so my perspectives never rest. They take power naps at best, because these hands were meant to caress any medium that crosses their path. I just chose this mode of photography because it's as portable as I am. See, friends, I am one of the hardest women working at a time where the hardest are hard to find, because that garbage keeps surfacing to the front line. And you'll never find sustenance while skimming away comfortably at your surface. So help me unearth this unearthly deity in me and welcome you to some sort of artistic rapture, where we speak in terms of composition and capture, light, contrast, and aperture, all caught up in the rapture of life aimed at camera, click. Did you get it? This is perfect vision from the mouth of the visually impaired. And I still see all of you. Thank you. A shout out to my girl, Joelle Dion, who's on the floor right now as our photographer for the night. This next piece is called Body Braille. Body Braille. Can I get a tiny bit of volume on the mic, just a little bit more? Just a little. Perfect. I'm gonna ask everybody to keep their conversations to a minimum. There's certainly a show going on, though, I swear. It ain't for no reason that I ask you to keep your conversation to a minimum here. beautiful she was. Oh, she didn't know how beautiful she was. Here's the story. It wasn't enough just to know her. I had to really get to know her. So as I undressed her, she warned me of all the scars. She said, please don't be afraid. Most of them have healed, but yes, there's still some that are fresh. She said, I know that I'm a mess. But there upon her silence is where I touched her. Eyes closed and receptors wide open. I read that woman's body like Braille. The story began at her ribs and it read so well, that's where the first markings lived. They were the oldest, rendered when she was the youngest, kind of naive, not even old enough to conceive just how bad life can get. And then my hands met her wrists. I read them both like separate pages to a memoir that had no end. It read the chronicles of a woman seeking redemption from her demons left unmentioned, but I bothered to listen to the scriptures that she etched into her skin. It was then she didn't know how beautiful she was. Oh, she didn't know how beautiful she was. Aside from reading, I rest my hands upon her knees as she begs me to read even further. So with a hand upon each thigh, upon her pages one more time, she groans because it's sore, yet I am gentle. Alas, the newest chapter lies before me. Crimson ink still wet but very legible. The newest chapter lies before me. Her crimson ink still wet but very legible. See, these are her deepest wounds yet. I mean, these are her deepest words yet. See, they've been etched into her flesh like diary entries that were written for her eyes only. But baby, if only she knew how beautiful she was. If only the blood pumping to her heart was enough for her to feel alive. If only she didn't have to feel it rushing from her thighs. If I could teach my woman to grip these pens instead of knives, I could teach her how to write these stories down on parchment instead. But instead, she's hell-bent on leaving these marks before others do. This act alone lets me know that her mind is skewed. But I say before I go to bed with you, perhaps you need to go ahead and wake on up for you. I'm just a band-aid upon a gunshot wound, and darling, you've got some healing left to do. I'm just a band-aid on her gunshot wound. I said she's got more healing left to do, and it does not begin with loving me. See, she cannot possibly love me, cause she has yet to love herself. See, I can teach her imperfection, but I can't give herself wealth. How can I convince her that the elixir doesn't lie within a straight razor, a dull knife? How can I say life is easy, but living it is hard? I said life is easy, but living it is hard. Life is easy, but living it is hard. I tried to tell her all that shit, but baby, it's not my job. It's not my job, but I find it quite odd that she still lies before me, awaiting my application. But I don't apply to what she's going through. Said I don't apply to what she's going through. Have you ever dodged a bullet? Have you ever dodged a bullet that wasn't even meant for you? Baby, I have. So I drew that bullet a bath, because it was all that I could offer her. I was hoping to rinse them demons right up off of her. Then we waited, and we waited. But of course her demons never dissipated. We could have waited in that water for a lifetime, but in dirt and grime she'd never find a God good enough to deliver her. Oh, she didn't know didn't know, didn't know, didn't know how beautiful she was. She didn't know, didn't know, didn't know, didn't know, didn't know how beautiful she was.